Deep in the heart of Everwood Forest, 12-year-old Ethan Wells wandered beneath the towering oaks, searching for wild berries. The golden light of the setting sun peeked through the dense canopy, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Then he saw it. A massive egg lay nestled between the roots of an ancient oak tree. Its shell shimmered like polished obsidian, flecked with streaks of silver and blue, and radiated a soft warmth when he stepped closer. Ethan's heart pounded. He had heard stories of dragons, creatures of legend said to have vanished hundreds of years ago. But those were just fairy tales, weren't they? He knelt beside the egg, his fingers trembling as he touched its surface. A faint vibration pulsed beneath his palm. Something alive was inside. A part of him wanted to run. This was dangerous, maybe even forbidden. But another part of him, the part that longed for adventure, whispered, "Take it." So he did. Carefully wrapping the egg in his tattered jacket, Ethan carried it home, his mind racing. Ethan lived in a small stone cottage on the village's outskirts with his uncle, Garrett Wells, a strict and humorless blacksmith. His uncle would never allow a dragon under his roof. So Ethan hid the egg in the barn, tucking it beneath a pile of straw, checking on it every night. Days passed, then a week. The egg grew warmer, almost hot to the touch. And then, on the 14th night, as a storm raged outside, it cracked. Ethan bolted upright at the sound. Rushing to the barn, he watched in awe as a tiny dragon emerged, its body slick with translucent membrane. Its scales glowed a deep amber and gold, flickering like embers in the dim candlelight. It chirped softly, then fixed its piercing yellow eyes on Ethan. His breath caught. "You're real!" The dragon let out a weak, high-pitched squeak, stumbling forward on its trembling legs. Ethan's heart melted. "I'll take care of you," he whispered. "No one will ever find out." He named it Ember. Keeping Ember hidden was not easy. By day, Ethan worked in his uncle's forge, hammering iron and shoeing horses. At night, he would sneak into the barn, feeding Ember scraps of meat stolen from the kitchen. Within weeks, the dragon doubled in size. Ember's wings stretched wider, his once clumsy movements becoming graceful. He could now let out small puffs of fire, and Ethan spent hours watching in fascination as the flames danced in the dark. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. The villagers started noticing strange things. Burned branches in the woods, deep claw marks on trees, a low, eerie screech echoing through the night. People whispered. Rumors spread. Something unnatural is in the forest. Ethan's uncle grew suspicious. One night he stormed into the barn, his lantern held high. "What are you hiding in here, boy?" Ethan's stomach twisted. "Nothing, Uncle," he said quickly, but Garrett's sharp eyes scanned the room. Then a shadow moved. Ember, now the size of a large dog, was curled behind a stack of hay. Garrett stepped closer. Before Ethan could react, the dragon hissed. A flicker of flame ignited between its teeth. Garrett staggered back, his face draining of color. "A dragon," he whispered. "By the gods." His expression twisted into fear, then anger. "You've been keeping a monster in my barn?" "He's not a monster," Ethan yelled. "He's my friend." His uncle grabbed him by the arm. "You've doomed us all," he snarled. "Do you know what happens when a dragon is discovered? The village will hunt it down, and they will burn this place to the ground." Ethan's blood turned cold. He had to get Ember out. The next morning, a villager spotted Ember's shadow soaring above the trees. Panic erupted. "A dragon!" someone shouted. "It's back from the old legends." Within hours, the village had formed a hunting party. Armed with bows, spears, and torches, they fanned into the woods. Ethan raced to the barn, his heart hammering. "We have to leave," he whispered. Ember let out a deep, guttural growl as if he understood. The dragon lowered his body, spreading his wings. Ethan grabbed onto his warm, golden scales. With one mighty leap, Ember launched into the sky. Below, the villagers screamed, pointing in terror as the boy and dragon vanished into the clouds. Far beyond the village, Ethan and Ember found a hidden valley, surrounded by mountains. Here, in this untouched land, dragons still lived. As Ember roared, Others answered. They were not alone. Ethan smiled, feeling something deep in his chest, something he had never felt before. Belonging. His journey had only just begun. Thanks for watching. If you like this story, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below.